Good evening, everyone. It's currently 8 p.m. Central Time. My name is David, call sign November 5, Yankee Alpha November, and you're listening to the University of Texas Amateur Radio Club's Weekly Night Net. You can hear us here on the KA5D University Link repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. More information about these repeaters, such as all Starlink status, frequency and tone information, along with other useful things, make sure to check out ka5d.com and n5oak.org, respectively. You can also find us on Echolink by connecting to ka5d-r or n5oak-r. For All-Star, make sure to use node 51444. Break. For anyone just now joining us, this is the UT Austin Amateur Radio Club Weekly Night Net, hosted by myself, David, call sign November 5, Yankee Alpha November, and like I said, I'll be net control for this evening. This is a control net, meaning stations should refrain from transmitting until designated check-in or comment times. There will be no scheduled pauses for emergency traffic, but we will yield the air to any breaking emergency. With that in mind, please leave room between check-ins and transmissions to allow for any emergency traffic. If you are having an emergency during this net, please say break, and we will pause the net to try and help. Real quick, any emergency traffic, please come now. Okay, nothing heard, but just remember, if you have emergency traffic, say break, and we will yield the net to you. Just for anyone new, the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net is a social net with the purpose of getting all of us radio operators together to share knowledge, discuss club activities, ask questions, and just generally keep in touch. All hams are invited, both new and experienced. You don't have to be part of the UT Amateur Radio Club to participate in this net. It's very easy to check in. In just a little while, I'm going to ask for check-ins, and I will take down a list of people who wish to participate. Once we have everyone in the first round checked in, I'll go down the list one at a time and give you the floor. Feel free to ask questions pertaining to ham radio or any other family-friendly topics you find interesting. Break. You can also share what you've been up to lately with everyone when it's your turn to speak. We will open up the net for comments and questions after these periods to help everyone get to know each other. My name is David, call sign November 5, Yankee Alpha November, and I'm net control for tonight's net. Would any UTARC members like to share news about the club? Please get back to me with your name and call sign. Okay, nothing heard. I was hoping Young would be on the air. Break. But since he's not, I'll go ahead and share some news. So the UT Club has been slowly growing. I think we have had 2 or 3 new members this week. So that's very nice. And in terms of plans, we have our meeting this week at Thursday, the 28th, so tomorrow. It's from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. in ETC 2.136. More information can be found on our website, Discord server, and on our mailing list. You can find more info about all of that at sites.utexas.edu/November 5 X-ray uniform. Break. Another thing happening soon. Sorry, I cannot speak for the life of me. Break. Another thing happening this month, well, really next month, is the Belton Hamfest on Saturday, October 7th. We will be leaving the UT Austin area at around 5 to 5:30 a.m. And if any UT Austin Amateur Radio Club members would like to join, you can find more info in our Discord server. We will be passing out information about car insurance and that sort of thing at the meeting, I believe. Break. Alright, lastly, that's all the news I have, but one quick thing. For anyone wanting to find out more information about the UT Amateur Radio Club, including dates for events, you can go to https://sites.utexas.edu N5XU. If you are a UT student and wish to join the UT Amateur Radio Club, please send us an email at n5xu@utlists.utexas.edu. Just for reference, my name is David, call sign November 5 Yankee Alpha November, and I'm net control for tonight's net. With that, it is time for short time check-ins. If you're running low on time or can't really stick around for the entire net but would still like to make it into the log, you can go ahead and check in now. Real quick though, I won't be opening the floor for comments or questions, just so we can get through short time check-ins quickly and make sure everyone gets their chance to check into the log. Okay, with all that, let's go to short time check-ins. If you don't have a lot of time to spend with us tonight, please check in by saying "this is" with a short pause to avoid doubling, and then please give us your name and call sign, slowly and phonetically, please. Alright, I'll go ahead and do another call for short time check-ins. If you don't have a lot of time with us tonight and you'd like to check into the UT Austin Amateur Radio Club weekly net, please check in by saying "this is" with a short pause to avoid doubling, and then give us your name and call sign slowly and phonetically.
This is India 5, Papa Zulu November, Ernesto in East Austin.
This is? Ooh, that was the locking button. K5BZI. Kilo Lock 5, Bravo Zulu India, Ray in South Austin.
Alright, we've got Ernesto and Ray, KI5PZN and K5BZI respectively. Thanks for checking in short time. Do we have anyone else who'd like to check in short time for the UT Austin Amateur Radio Club weekly net? Please check in by saying "this is" with a short pause to avoid doubling, and then please give us your name and call sign, slowly and phonetically.
This is Kilo 5 Juliet Mike, K5JM Sam, short time.
Alright, thank you for the check-in, Sam. We'll go ahead and do one last round of short time check-ins. If you don't have a lot of time to spend with us tonight, and or maybe you just don't want to, chat on the net tonight, please come now with your name and call sign. Make sure to say "this is" with a short pause to prevent doubling. Alright, nothing heard. We'll go ahead and move on to regular check-ins. But first, let me do a station ID. This is the UT Austin Amateur Radio Club Weekly Night Net, hosted by the UT Austin Amateur Radio Club. Call sign November 5, X-Ray Uniform. You can hear us every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on the KA5D University Link repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. If you're currently a licensed amateur radio operator and wish to participate in this net, you can double-check your repeater settings at ka5d.com/repeaters and n5oak.org/repeaters. My name is David, call sign November 5, Yankee Alpha November, and I'm the net control operator for tonight's net. Alright, with all that boilerplate out of the way, let's get to regular check-ins. In order to check into the net tonight, please say "this is" with a short pause to avoid doubling, and then please give us your name and call sign, slowly and phonetically.
This is Alpha India 5 Juliet Tango, Rick, on the edge of N5 Oak.
This is 5 Lima X-Ray Sky in Oak Hill.
This is
Kilo Golf 5, Tango, November Foxtrot, Johnny in East Austin.
All right, thanks everyone for checking in. First we've got Rick, Alpha India 5, Juliet Tango. Then we have Sky, November 5, Lima X-Ray. And last check-in of that round was Johnny, Kilo Golf 5, Tango, November Foxtrot. We'll go ahead and talk with Rick, Alpha India 5, Juliet Tango. What's going on, Rick? What would you like to share with us tonight?
Perfect timing. I'm about to drive through a low spot, so I hope you can still hear me. I wanted to check in with you, David, and there was I don't know if it was UHF or VHF, there was a mobile radio that you were working on getting up and running. I think it was like an MCS 2000 or something like that. Wanted to ask how that was going back to that.
Yeah, thanks, Rick. I haven't had a lot of time to work on it, and you are completely correct. The reason I ended check-in so early was so we could speak with you before you got out of the range of the N508K repeater. I don't want to keep you too long, because I'm not sure how long you'll be able to hear us, but it's nice to have you checking into the net. Does anyone have any questions or comments for Rick before he gets out of range of the repeater? All right, nothing heard. Well, safe travels, Rick, and 7 threes. Next up, we have Sky, November 5, Lima X-Ray. How's it going, Sky? Is there anything you've been working on, or what would you like to talk about with us tonight?
Hey, David. This is N5LX. Well, hi to everybody out there, first of all. Besides eating a lot of good food and trying to fix the rattles in my car, actually I was successful on that. Did a fox hunt this last weekend. That was Rusty hit that one. It was pretty cool. The radio stuff for this week. Looking for an open grid problem on my AL811H linear amp. Just got it back from warranty repairs, and it still has an intermittent thing. And it's kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of looking forward to fiddling around with it some more. It's interesting learning experience for me. Waiting for cooler weather to go back up in the attic too. I don't know, like a month and a half ago I was up there and I was trying to fix the tuning on my fan dipole, and I didn't find out until I got back down that the test jumper on my Nano VNA was a bad cable. So hopefully I'll get some nice cool weather so I can go back up there and fix that. That's about all that's going on. I was curious, you mentioned getting new members for the UT Ham Club. I was curious, how many members do you have now?
Thanks, Sky, and I'll answer your last question first. I think right now, in our Discord server, I don't have access to the exact figures right now in terms of official club membership, because I know a lot of people haven't been filing out the official form. But in terms of our Discord server, we have, let's see, if I go and ignore all of the Aggies and Elmers in the server, I believe we have 44 UT students in the club currently. Break. And quick comment on your other stuff. The amplifier seems really interesting. I will just say be careful with high voltage. I know playing with amps is fun and all, but we want you to stick around and still be able to check into the net. And I'm also curious, what was the problem with your Nano VNA? Was the cable bad, or did it, the connector snap off? I didn't quite understand what happened there.
Yeah, that's a good question, but to digress just a little bit, that's a lot of members for the UT Club. That's really great. I hope that I know as students you're all probably very busy, but I hope you get a chance to get together, with some of the other members. That's really great. As far as the Nano VNA goes, I have a bunch of little jumper cables that I got from Amazon, and they're cheap. And the little SMA patch cables, they're cheap and they go bad really easily. I don't know, maybe I need to find a better source, but it was just a bad cable. So I was up there in the attic and I thought, oh, it looks great. I was like looking at it from the feed point with just one little jumper. And it turns out my jumper was bad, so when I got back down and I looked at it from downstairs, I found that cable was bad, so I got another one, and then I looked at the antenna, and it was really out of whack, so I need to go back up and retune it.
Well, that happens. I will say, it's not really feasible anymore with school, but for SMA jumpers, I used to always use RG316 coax and then just solder up the connectors myself. It ended up being substantially cheaper. And about the member count, it is quite high. A lot of people, I think, joined because they either saw us, the Gaunt Engineering, and or they saw us on there's a Discord feature for universities where they'll list all the clubs affiliated with the university. So I think there's quite a lot of people who are just stopping through, trying to figure stuff out as they start university. And I think the core group of people is closer to 14, who actually show up to meetings and whatnot. But it's still very nice. I like the dynamic of a small club, and we've had some new regulars at the meetings, and we're all planning on going to Belton coming up soon. So it's been fun. I'll hand it back to you, and if you want to go ahead and talk about your amplifier, I think some of the people listening may be interested in that. November 5, Yankee Alpha, November. Back to you, Sky.
Sure. This is N5LX for ID. Well, that's great. I hope you make some good friends, through the ham radio club there. I was a member of the club way back in the 80s. We used to go hang out and eat pizza. So, we had fun, but the ham shack was not really all that great, but that didn't matter. We still had a lot of fun. Anyway, so let's see, the amp. It's the symptoms are basically, it's very intermittent, so it's, those kind of problems are hard to troubleshoot. It's like when you send it off or you look at it, it works great, and then you use it for a while and it starts acting up again. And hopefully when you pop the top and start looking at it, you can find it, but intermittent problems are not easy. I found some open solder joints. They weren't actually ever soldered, just straight from the manufacturer. So I fixed those, and I haven't disassembled it all the way. Like I've never had it open to where I could see the bottom of the tube sockets. And since I'm going to go that far, I'm actually going to do some modifications to improve the connection on the grid pin. It's going through a screw right now, and I'm going to have the little ring terminal like going straight to the chassis instead of through a screw. But I'm learning. I'm not by no means all that knowledgeable about it. But and also thanks for the positive vibes. You do need to be safe working on those things. Back to you.
Very interesting. Yeah, that's neat. I will say I would be worried about Sorry, I cannot speak at all today. I'd be worried about voiding the warranty, but it looks like they're not very capable of fixing it anyway. So I think it's definitely worth you taking a look at it. And missing solder joints are never a good sign. And you talking about the shack did remind me. Right now we don't have a shack, and it's still been really fun putting together demos and whatnot for the club. It's been real enjoyable. And I'll go ahead and give it back to you one last time, Sky, and then I'll go ahead and ask anyone listening to the net if they have any questions or comments for you.
Everybody's time, but just say hello again, and thanks to you for hosting the net. Hopefully maybe I'll see you at Belton. I'm going to try to make it this time. This is N5LX.
Thanks, Sky. Yeah, I hope to see you there. And For ID, this is November 5, Yankee Alpha November, net controller for the UT Austin Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net. Does anyone have a question or comment for Sky? Please just shout out your name and call sign.
Ray, K5BZI.
Go ahead.
I had a comment. Congrats, Sky, on getting the noise fixed in your car, which you said was the one successful thing. Which right after you said eating good food, you didn't say eating good food was a success. And I have to give you a hard time on that because I ran into Sky at the grocery store the other day and I saw what he had in his shopping cart. So better luck next time, buddy.
I don't know what grocery store you go to, but I've never run into ham radio operators at the store. I guess that's because I live in a different part of town. Hopefully I'm not interrupting Sky, right? Okay, I think we're good. Does anyone else have a question or comment for Sky? His call is November 5, Lima X-Ray. Okay, nothing heard, and I will say it was nice chatting with you, Sky, and hopefully I'll see you at Belton. Next in the log, we have Johnny, Kilo Golf 5, Tango, November, Foxtrot. I hope I got your call right. I didn't quite catch the first few letters, and I kind of had to fill in there. So, Johnny, anything you'd like to mention tonight on the UT Austin Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net?
Yeah, hello everybody. I made a couple of fun local chit-chat conversations this past week. Was out floating around in my kayak on Thursday night and checked into the net and said hello to everybody. That was fun, being out on Lady Bird Lake, and really, really beautiful, calm evening. All the lights reflecting off of the water and everything. So it was really fun to have my little HT with me and be able to clearly communicate with net control and everybody. So that was fun. And then on Saturday, I checked in with the man that does the Austin High School net on Saturday. He's a nice young gentleman. Enjoyed checking in with them and saying hello. And I heard Ernesto. He checked in, I think, too. I heard you out there, Ernesto, if you're still listening. I meant to say hello to you, but I never got it done. That day I was puttering around under a tree around my truck down at the lake. But anyway, I just thought I'd mention that, and it's always fun to check in and talk to you guys. I'll give it back to the net, KG5TNF.
Thanks, Johnny. And as far as the high school, I think it's Lara or something like that. James, Kilo India 5, Uniform X-Ray Whiskey, is a wonderful young man, and I actually haven't had the chance to check in on his net, but I heard it's real nice. By the way, Ernesto did check in short time, so I don't know if he's still around, but Ernesto, if you'd like to say hi to Johnny real quick, I'll give you the chance.
Hi, PZ. Hey, Johnny. It's good to hear you on the radio, and thanks for the shout out. And David, put me again for a recheck, because I didn't realize I was checking in for a short time earlier. Back to net.
You got it. Man, being the president of the Austin Amateur Radio Club, you sure have a lot of pull. You couldn't just check in like all the other normal people on that. You had to exercise your extreme what you call it, extreme power over the Austin Amateur Radio Club community, and of course I'm just playing. And yeah, it's nice to hear from you, Ernesto. You're in the log up next, and Johnny, is there anything else you'd like to share, or should I go ahead and open it up to questions or comments?
I'll just make one last comment. Ernesto, when you were out of town, I had fun talking about you. I don't know if your ears were burning or not, but I was joking that I like to call you Mr. Vice President. That's fun stuff to me. I'm in a model airplane group too, and that fellow was the president. They voted him in. This was a couple of years ago, but I always used to say, "Yes, Mr. President." I think I'm so funny. I'm probably not nearly as funny as I think I am, but anyway, it's all good. KG5TNF, back to you guys.
Well, Johnny, it's all fun, man. You know, I got a kick out of all that stuff. I don't take life too serious to begin with, but good to hear you, man. Back to that. This is KFI-PZ, man.
Awesome. It's great to hear from you both. And speaking of the Mr. Vice President, I thought Ernesto was the president of the Austin Amateur Radio Club. I could be mistaken. Next in the log, we have Ernesto, Kilo India 5, Papa Zulu November. But before we get to his antics for ID, my name is David, call sign November 5, Yankee Alpha November. Go ahead and take it away, Ernesto. How's it going?
Hey, David. Thanks for running the net, and hello to everybody listening and participating as well. Here hanging out at the house with Enrique tonight, and just doing the stuff. Walked into the room a little bit late after the net started. That's why I was a little bit confused at the beginning. But all well, man. You know, a lot of work. Always finding time for radio. Wanted to let people know, especially if there's anybody new to the frequency, that we are going to have. We have the Thursday night net tomorrow on these frequencies at 8 p.m. And also on Friday, we're going to have the Traveling Taco Net at 7 p.m. on this frequency as well. So I just want to let people know, and for those of you guys who already knew, so it's just a reminder. But that's about it, man. Back to net control. Thanks again for running the net. KFI-PZ, man.
Awesome, yeah, and for anyone wanting to check into the Thursday Night Net or the Traveling Taco Net, you can find more information at n5oak.org/repeaters. If you're closer to the UT campus, the Oak Club has a repeater on top of the physics building down here, but I'm pretty sure the KA5D University Link repeater system also links up with the Oak system if you already have that programmed in your radio. Okay, and there was something else I meant to ask you, but I could not remember what it is. So I'll go ahead and open it up to questions and comments from everyone else. If you have a question or comment for Ernesto, please give your call sign and name a quick shout into the repeater, and we'll get back to you.
KG5TNF.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the time. It's Friday, right? The Taco Net. I didn't catch the time, though. Back to you.
Yeah, the Taco Net, it's on Friday at 7 p.m. That one is from 7 till 9 on this Friday, which is the last Friday of the month. Back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I will take care of that. No problem. Back to net.
Wonderful, and I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who checked in. And, it's only 8:30, so I think we'll go ahead and do another second round of regular check-ins. So, for station ID, and for anyone who just now is checking into the net, or tuning in rather, this is the UT Austin Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net, hosted by the University of Texas Amateur Radio Club, call sign N5XU. You can hear us every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on the KA5D University Link repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. If you're currently a licensed amateur radio operator and wish to participate in this net, you can double-check your repeater settings at ka5d.com/repeaters and n508k/repeaters. The N508K Club has lots of other useful nets if you're new to the area or new to amateur radio in Austin. By the way, my name is David, call sign November 5, Yankee Alpha November, and I'm the net control operator for tonight's net. So with all that hubble-a-doo, let's go to regular check-ins. In order to check into the net tonight, please say "this is" with a short pause to avoid doubling, and then please give us your name and call sign slowly and phonetically.
This is Kilo 7 Tango Victor Alpha, David.
Alright, we have David, Kilo 7 Tango Victor Alpha. Do we have anyone else who'd like to check into the UT Austin Amateur Radio Club weekly net? Please say "this is" with a short pause to avoid doubling, and then give your name and call sign. A shout slowly and phonetically, please.
This is Alpha India 5 Juliet Tango. How do I sound now?
You sound great, Rick. Nice to hear you. And did you want to check in again, or were you just wanting a quick audio check? Back to you.
I was going to ask you some questions, so I'll wait my turn.
All right, that sounds wonderful. Nice to hear from you again, and I'm glad you made it home safe. Would anyone else like to check into the UT Austin Amateur Radio Club weekly net? If so, please say "this is" with a short pause to avoid doubling, and then give us your name and call sign slowly and phonetically. All right, nothing heard, and I'm not too surprised. This is the pretty usual check-in list every week, and as usual, it's nice to hear from all of you. First on the list of second rounds, we have David, Kilo 7 Tango Victor Alpha. But first, just for ID, my name is David, call sign November 5, Yankee Alpha November. And David, anything you'd like to share with us on the net tonight?
Very good, David. Thanks for running the net. I came in late, so I missed most of the other comments. Sorry, everybody. You can send me your comments later over Discord. I don't have much traffic. My only news is I received today a inline BNC 20 decibel attenuator that I'm looking forward to using fox hunting. If it works, but isn't enough. There's also a 40 decibel one they sell, so I can pick that one up and have 60 total. And I went to throw it on my Nano VNA to test it and make sure it does what it says on the label, and I got total garbage out of the Nano VNA reset. And it was just like -7 decibels, +17 decibels, all over the place, just random noise. So I got real worried, started searching on the internet, hey, my Nano VNA gives me totally random noise, what do I do? Found lots of posts about internal relays getting cooked and diodes going bad and things, and I got real worried. Then I decided to plug my Nano VNA in and charge it. Putting a little bit of charge into the Nano VNA battery, the results are exactly what I'd expect, and the attenuator is a flat -20 decibels across the entire range of interesting frequencies, which makes sense because it's just some resistors in a cam. So that's going to work out well, hopefully. Hopefully 20 decibels is enough to get improve on the hardest part of fox hunting for me, which is when I get to 20 meters of the fox and it just seems to be coming from every direction all at the same time. So that should be good. That's all I've got. This is David, K7TVA, back to net.
Good to hear. I'm glad you got your issues sorted out. And I know there are a lot of fox hunters on the airwaves tonight. So if anyone has any questions or comments for David about his fox hunting setup, I, for one, would love to hear it. Very, very knowledgeable people are always nice to hear from. So if you have questions or comments for David about this fox hunting gear, please just give us your name and call sign.
N5LXT, Rick.
Alright, I think we had a quick double with N5LX and Rick, but I heard Sky first, so go ahead, Sky.
Sir, this is N5LX. I really apologize, but I missed part of your transmission, but I'm glad you're participating in the fox hunts. You know, I host some of those, and it's really great to have people participate. And your nano VNA, that's an interesting thing. I have had 3 of those. I gave one of them to a friend. The other one I had developed some kind of an issue. So I'm on my 3rd one now, but I guess I just had a string of bad luck. But they're really great. And I was curious, since I missed a lot of your transmission, do you have a Yagi, or what's your rig consist of again, please?
I have 2 antennas that I've been using for fox hunting. One is a tape measure Yagi, 3-element, pretty standard fox hunting antenna, and the other is a Moxon that I like because it's a little bit smaller, so swinging it around and climbing through brush doesn't snag on as many things, because the Moxon, like folded square design, isn't quite as wide in the element as the Yagi. Both of those seem to perform about the same. The Moxon's got a real good null, so I kind of use it backwards, and I try to find the direction of lowest signal, and then the fox must be behind me. That's kind of my usual method. And yeah, thanks for putting the foxes out, Sky. I've found a couple of yours, and they've been good ones. So thanks for that. K7TVA.
Okay, cool. Thanks for sharing that. I'm always kind of curious what other people do, you know, their techniques or their approach and their antennas, because I'm always trying to learn new things. I've learned a lot of little nuances in the last year, you know, since I started trying fox hunts, and the little things that I've learned have made a big difference, I think. So maybe we'll keep in touch on Discord so that we can see what you're doing. Thanks again. This is N5LX.
Yeah, very good. Will do.
Awesome. It's great to hear from you, and I knew Sky would be on this very quickly. And Rick, did you have a question or comment, or was I just picking up something that I completely misunderstood?
Yeah, I've got a question about the attenuators. What power rating are they? I'm always afraid when I have an attenuator plugged into an HT that I'll accidentally press the transmit button, and I don't want to damage the attenuator. Back to that.
Oh, yeah, that's actually a good question. I just had to pick it up and check. It's apparently rated for 2 watts, which is good, because I think most HTs can go lower than that. I maybe saying that's a little premature, but I think my HT will go down to like 0.5 or point something watts, so it should be safe, to accidentally key it up. Good question and good point. I'll take the link to this attenuator and I'll put it in the University Net chat in a second. You guys can see it. K7TVA.
Awesome. I was able to program my HT to either not transmit or to transmit it at low power on the Fox frequencies to help mitigate that, but that was always something I worried about. AI5JT, back to net.
Very nice conversation there, and I will say, David, you can pick up some pretty decent and cheap attenuators down at Belton for, well, they're cheap. I think I picked up in total like 30, 40, maybe even up to 60 dB of total attenuation for like, less than $5-10 down at Belton. And it is a bit clunky, having 4 to 5 BNC coax attenuators in series there, but it gets the job done. If you find you need more attenuation, you could go fox hunting this weekend and then following weekend is Belton, so you can, go down to Belton and pick up more if you end up needing it. Okay, and does anyone else have a question or comment for David, call sign K7TVA? And real quick for ID, my call is November 5, Yankee Alpha November, net control for tonight's net.
I5OS.
Hey, sorry, I heard someone transmit there, but I think I accidentally doubled with you before I could release the PTT button. Who was that? And please come now with your question or comment.
This is AI5OS. Name's Justin. And I just kind of caught in on to the tail end of this. Just got in here. But I just wanted to ask David if he'd been on 900 in a while. This is AI5OS.
Oh, hey, Justin. I have not been on 900 in a while. So when it gets a little cooler, maybe into October, I'm planning to put a mast up on top of my house. I haven't decided exactly what the parts for that are going to be mechanically, but I'm hoping to get a permanent 900 antenna up there to make things work a little better than just using the little HT antenna inside the house, and then I'll hope to get on 900 a little more when that's done. So looking forward to that. K7TVA.
Roger. AI5OS. Back to net.
Sounds good. Speaking of 900 megahertz, I really need to get back into it. Okay, and it's getting a little late, so we'll go ahead and move on to our next check-in. Alpha Indy 5 Juliet. Alpha Indy 5 Juliet Tango. I just completely miswrote down your call sign. Rick, how's it going? And glad you're back home.
Hi, David. I'm not quite home yet, but I'm definitely on higher ground. I wanted to, let's see. So a week or 2 weeks ago, I was on UT campus bright and early with Kyle, K5AD, and Quartz, and the CTRS folks. They were trying to get their P25 repeater system set up. It was a partial success. They're going to have to come back later with some better antennas. So that wasn't of much help, but got to see a lot and maybe learn a little as well. And David, I wanted to ask you, I think you were working on getting a mobile radio set up. I think it was an MCS 2000, something of that sort. Wanted to know how that was going. AI5JT, back to net.
Yeah, so it's been a bit of an interesting journey, and I wanted to say thanks for sending me the Discord to the Trunked Radio System server. So far, my plan for the mobile rig is to basically copy what Rusty's doing with the battery setup. So I got a cheap 50 cal ammo can and used an Amazon gift card for a BioNO 12 amp hour battery, and right now I'm on a loaner car. The timing belt in my Jetta is about to blow up, so the local shade tree mechanic back where I live is working on that, and in the meantime I'm borrowing a GMC Yukon, so I don't want to scratch it up with a mag mount potentially, so I haven't done much mobile operating, and we'll see how it goes. The plan is really just to, I have too many mobile radios basically, so the plan is to just swap them out using the battery system and, just use whatever feels more fun that week. And that's basically it. It's not very complicated. Back to you, Rick. November 5, Yankee Alpha November.
Awesome. As soon as I get home, I got some connectors waiting for me from Amazon. I'm in the process of making a programming cable for one of my radios. So I needed a DP15 and a DP25. So some other stuff going on, I can chat with you that on the next ham breakfast. AI5JT, back to net.
Awesome, Rick, and I will say the next ham radio breakfast is a no-go for me. My parents are coming into town, and they might not get here that early, but I don't really want to take any chances. I want to be able to greet them as soon as they get here, because they're on their way actually to another family member who's having some health issues, so they don't really have a whole lot of time. But yeah, if you're going to Belton, I can see you there, or the next weekend there'll be another ham breakfast. It's something that happens every week, so I'll see you around one of these days. And with all that out of the way, does anyone have a question or comment for Rick? Okay, nothing heard, so I'll go ahead and insert my question. I'll bite. What connectors are you waiting for back home? And also, a question about your mobile setup. It sounds really clean. Your audio's clean, and you don't hear any car noise. What's your setup looking like?
The connectors are a DB15 and a DB25, and that's for that's going to plug into the back of the Motorola Spectra, so that I can hook it up to a computer and program some channels into it. The radio I'm talking to you on right now, that's a Motorola XTL 5000. I think it's in the range of 50 watts, and I've got it a gain antenna. I think it's a 7 dB gain antenna on the rack of the roof of the car. That's been working really well for me. There's also a UHF model sitting right next to it.
Sounds cool. Very interesting stuff. And yeah, your audio sounds incredible. So thanks for answering all those questions. And yeah, with that, does anyone else have a question or comment for Rick? Alpha India 5, Juliet Tango. My call is November 5, Yankee Alpha, November. Just please give us your name and call. Okay, nothing heard, and with that, I think we'll go ahead and wrap up the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net for tonight. It's been nice chatting with everyone, and I want to say thank you to everyone who joined us on the air tonight for the net. This has been a service of the University of Texas at Austin Amateur Radio Club, call sign November 5, X-Ray Uniform. You can find us here every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. if you'd like to join again in the future. We are the official amateur radio club for the University of Texas. You can go ahead and read about the club, sign up for our email list, and find our event calendar at sites.utexas.edu/November 5 X-Ray Uniform. My name is David, call sign November 5, Yankee Alpha November, and for my QTH here in North Campus, 7 3s. It's been a pleasure running the net, and thanks again to everyone who participated or was just listening in. This system is now returned to regular amateur radio use.
This is KG5 PKP Mobile. Anybody on the frequency? This is KG5 PKP Mobile. I'll be clear.